Hello there. It's time to talk about Diablo IV Season 1. It's going to be a bit of an exprompt video. I don't have much prepared. But, given the recent uproar online about Season 1, Diablo IV, and what people have been saying in a hilarious manner regarding season being good, season being bad, I want to address it, right? And express what I think, just because I enjoy making YouTube videos every once in a while. So, first of all, I think the reason why there was a lot of uproar after the patch that was deployed in production, and why people got upset, is because majority of the players function in immature logic of, if the numbers are bigger, that means the patch is better and good, that it's good for the game if the numbers are larger. And if the numbers are smaller, then it's bad for the game, right? Oh no, our characters got nerfed. Whatever are we going to do? We're not gonna be as powerful and won't be able to use abilities as often. Patch is bad. Something got taken away from us. First of all, dear children, you didn't put any effort into making the game, and if the developers are making this change, there's a reason for it. I'll give you one reason. It's not the only one, but one reason for it, which is valid. They want to slow down the power creep. Power creep basically means that something gets introduced into the game which devalues what happened in the past, or what was put in to the game in the past. Right? For example, in Diablo 3, Loot 2.0 devalued a lot of the previous developments, because now you have to get, you know, a whole bunch of new gear. So what the devs have done is they preemptively lowered the power level of everything and made the game harder, so that when they execute the currently existing plan of creating new items, developing new content, they can introduce the power or give you more power over a longer period of time. And whatever additions they're going to put into the game will be more impactful, right? They will be more palpable with every new season. Diablo 4 is a piece of software that Blizzard Entertainment is going to use and improve for, at the very least, 5 years, probably 10. I'm basing it off of what they've done with previous franchise installments. So if the plan is to make the game viable, playable, and make the characters interesting and introduce new content, making it so that your characters do trillions, bazillions of damage right away is not the way to go. It's going to do poorly. Which is why the patch that nerfed everything is the right way to go. Right? And going on a seesaw and saying, ooh, patch is bad, ooh, patch is good, is not the right approach. Take a look at why they've done it, and I'm giving you at least one reason why the current patch makes sense. And it might sound very disheartening, but it doesn't matter how much people whine, because they're not the ones making the decisions. If the community gets together and expresses valid concerns, they will be taken into account. And when I say it doesn't matter, what I mean by this is that people should be calmer about their opinions, and they should weigh it a little bit more instead of just spewing it out wildly. On the next side of this beautiful fence, which is gamers versus developers, I want to talk about the season journey and what was done so far with season 1. The pros of season 1, I think, and it's going to be a little one-sided here, right? I've built a character prior to season 1, opened up the map, got all the altars of Lilith, and as a result, I was able to unlock a majority of the bonuses, right, that can be claimed by every character. One misconception I had and one mistake I've made is that I thought that the strongholds and side quests and side dungeons are going to be transferred, and that's not correct. What is transferred is the altars of Lilith and the discovered areas, which is enough to unlock the first 2 sections of the bonuses, and then about a quarter of the third portion, which just gives you a skill point. Given that all of the skill points are all of these side dungeons and side quests and strongholds and waypoints are not opened, it is relatively easy to open up the third bonus. And then the last 2 are not going to come into play until much later. For example, I think I've played this character for probably about 10 hours or something like that, and I'm at level 32 at this point. One thing for sure is that you can do strongholds. Like, I recently have done stronghold level 40 and level 45 in Kyrgyzstan right here to unlock the third bonus. That was the final area that I basically unlocked. And now it turns out that I still will need to do the final 2 for every area. And if I combine all the quests, you know, walking around and doing the quest line for the season, it will not feel boring, right? I have played for a while and I am not sensing boredom, right? One aspect of this that I find questionable, I'm not against it, I'm still debating internally on whether I like it, right? It's the block of a particular level or a particular power that you must acquire in order to unlock it, right? So while the natural progression through the quests is designed in a way to kind of, unless you've played enough, you're not going to get there, right? That's the situation. It's very similar to Diablo 3 seasons, and in terms of time, it's about the same investment, but like this requirement is basically, yeah, you must unlock so much Paragon, or at the very end with the Destroyer achievement, I think the requirement is reach level 100, right? So unless you've grinded, you're not going to get it, right? And it's kind of okay because you get some of those cosmetic rewards and you get to show off, you know, yeah, I've put in the work, I've played enough, and my new character is the reward, right? It's the reward in itself. So hello. I'm not against it. Greetings. But I guess the incorrect perception that is lurking on the inside of me is that I want to complete it all here and now without putting in too much effort, which is just lazy on my part, I admit.
Just listen. Varshan is the source of the disease, but I can cure him. I just need to find the correct ritual. These ruins have been sealed since the Zakal room first arrived. If there's anywhere to hunt for lost knowledge, it's got to be here.
There is something to note about the seasonal journey. Cormand over here is the protagonist or the antagonist, depending on how you look at his story, right? I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the seasonal journey, at least in season 1, I find it intriguing because what he's doing is he's guiding you through the sanctuary after you've completed the campaign, and I'm not sure actually if you can do it before completing the campaign, but by the looks of it, you can't, right? You need to complete it. It makes presence in the world more meaningful, and that separate storyline makes the journey across the world make more sense and more enjoyable. So I think that is definitely the correct path. And I'll just continue with this quest to show you the example of some of this story, right? I'm not going to talk about it much, but this will unfold some of the reasons of the presence of the malignant, why they're there, and how you're helping Cormand.
What? Don't be so short-sighted. Of course it is. And it would be to Varshan too. That's the kind of man he was. That simply can't be smothered by hate. Let me show you. Follow me. No one's tried to explore Karaman's reach since it was sealed.
So while I'm doing this, there is something else I should mention, since it's apparent. The hearts, the malignant hearts and the power-ups that we get, they do add a certain amount of spice to the game.
I believe so.
I'm not ready yet.
So I think what they're going to do, right, the devs, they're going to create a season based around some sort of a power-up, and there will be another character here and there that will assist you and give you some of those powers for your gear, which I think if they're fresh and interesting in you, that is that is an enticing approach to luring people into the season, and why it's, you know, giving the answer to why should I play.
Ah, yes, here. There's a door hidden beneath the statue. Watch what happens when you make the sign of the light near the statue here. First latch released. Now, we just need to find the second statue. It should be nearby.
Okay.
I'm out of fury.
Sorted.
You've done it! The entrance is open. I will meet you inside.
Oakley dokley. Oh. Yeah, while we're at it, something to note is that the world of Sanctuary, or this continent that was open, or part of the continent that we have at our disposal, there are so many locations that the devs can easily modify, relatively easily modify, to open up new quest lines, new locations, build new dungeons. It's virtually endless, you know, what they can do with the world. And it's a phenomenal model, right? It's a model of world building that is admirable.
Don't have enough fury.
There is another topic which was asked of me during the stream.
There's so much death. What have they done here?
Right, I'll get to the quest in a second, but let me finish Cormand.
Keep searching. These experiments can't have been for nothing.
Right, of course they can't. So I think, based on, you know, the gameplay, I've played on the veteran difficulty and on the normal difficulty, the basic one. I think that there is no point to play on veteran right off the bat, because some of the locations, like strongholds, by yourself and being under-leveled, are not worth going into, right? It's gonna be way too tough. You could try to do it, but you're not gonna get as much XP, and you're gonna struggle way too much.
Need more fury.
Even on the normal difficulty, right? If you have your experience potion, and even without a party member,
I must wait.
if you're killing your enemies fast enough, you can sense the progression. And by the time you reach level 30, 35, the basis of your character are mapped out. And then after this, it's a matter of structuring your build around the items that you find, right? And as you find new enhancements for your abilities, you can relatively easily switch what you're doing. It is relaxing, right, to play on the normal difficulty. And given that, how should I put it? Given that there is not really a race, you know, yeah, there are some people that are going for world first, but as we know, those people are players that have gotten privileged treatment. They have gotten access to the game many days before even early access. They also have a whole team of people that they're playing with, people that have been dedicated to the genre for many years, that give them, you know, sound advice, that they work as a team with, and that gives you a huge leg up when it comes down to the race, if you will. And also, they make a lot of money playing online. They don't have to worry about paying the bills and supporting themselves because the community supports them. And that is the foundation for them being world first and world best. If they didn't have financial support, it wouldn't be sensible for them to put in as much as they do. You know, who knows what kind of background they got and how much family support they got. If they got no support financially, they wouldn't be where they're at. It's the community that's the reason for their well-being, and it's the team that's the reason for their performance. Also, yeah, they're putting in the time and the dedication, which is respectable, but then again, if you aim to compete against them by yourself, you will fail.
You're saying all we can do is capture him, kill him. No. This is that's unacceptable. All of this death and torment for what? Then all of those people corrupted are dead because of me. I can't.
Yep. You must.
Perhaps it's time we leave this place. We'll return to my village, where it started and where it will end.
That's right. All right. So that's my thoughts and my impression of the start of the season 1. I think Blizzard has done a 3.5 out of 5. Some of the points are taken off for blocking some of the content with, well, time investment, right? Without time investment, you can't do that content. I think it would be better if they design requirements a little bit less stringently. I think a requirement or one of the quests, such as, this right here, Anointed Immortal, right? For me personally, I do want to have every class at level 100 eventually. After a year, I probably will. I plan to play one class per season, and in 3 more seasons, I probably will have that, right? Which is a lot of time and entertainment. The game is enjoyable. It's worth getting. It's definitely worth playing the campaign and then exploring the season, right? So bashing Diablo 4 and saying that it's bad is short-sighted. Get the game, try it out, and then make a statement. And weigh how many hours of content you got for the money. And given that it takes about 30 hours to just beat the campaign, and the game is $70, I suggest you visit any family resort or any arcade and look at how much money you gotta spend there, or any amusement park where an entrance for one day costs anywhere between $50 and $100 for the value. Or like if you go on any arcade machine and you put in $20 and that $20 is enough for an hour or 2 of play. Take a look at that as a comparison of the game quality and what you get for the value. As far as my point of view on the quality of the campaign and everything else, there are plenty of videos on my YouTube channel that can give you that perspective. My perspective, if you want to hear it. Other than that, I think Diablo 4 has bright future. Or a hell of a future. Yeah, I said that. Good luck, everybody. And I hope to see you in Sanctuary. Peace.